for me, it's it's like you said, it's just an open and honest communication with God, and just being able to talk to God about things that's going on. And even though you know that He knows everything that's going on, it's still something. That God is my best friend. He is my father. He is my everything. So just the way you think about it in your everyday life, in the real world, you have that best friend that is a type relationship with your best friend. That's what God is to me. And I mean, I come to God whenever, any time of day. I always got to be thankful because I know firsthand that I shouldn't be here. It was so many different issues and situations that I've been in my life, and I know I easily could have been gone, but God saw fit to keep me here for whatever reason that He had at that time. I didn't know. I know now, but just praying to God is just talking to God and just telling Him, like, listen, this was going on. I know you know, but we gonna work some things out together, and that's what it is. It's just an open, honest line of communication. Thing all out there. Just let it all out, and that's what happens with prayer. Just being able to let it all out and
Yeah,
just
that's very true.
talk to God and just let Him know, like, listen, yeah, you know
Yeah.
everything I'm going through right now, but listen, you're gonna hear it again. You're gonna hear it all. You got to hear the whole everything. I got to pour my heart out to you, and that's what prayer is to me. The first thing that comes to mind is just that open line of communication and just being able to talk to God about any and everything that's going on in my life. Just touching anybody that I know is going through anything, and just having that line of communication, and just knowing that at one point in time I didn't have a relationship with God, and I know that someone was praying for me. So knowing that somebody was praying for me, it just is amazing that someone really cared enough about me to pray for me, even though I didn't know God at points in time in my life. And you know, understanding that and having that ability and that opportunity to do the same for others right now who may not know God, and just praying on their behalf is just an amazing feeling. So that's the first thing that comes to mind with me with prayer, Danny. Can you hear me well, Danny? I don't know. It looks like everything is good on my end, but I just want to go into some scripture. When you pray without ceasing, you just go to God. You're consistently persistent, that you're just going to keep going and keep praying, and just know that God is going to answer those prayers. So, it may be those times where you feel like, man, I've been praying. God's not answering me right now. He's not paying any attention to me right now. So, I mean, I don't need to pray no more attention to me. He's God. We ask God for things that we need, that we want. That might be the issue right there. That want and not the need. But praying to God for those things that you need, and it feels like He's just not answering you. It's okay. You have to be patient. And when you pray without ceasing, it is a high level of patience that has to go with that as well, because you understand that, you're praying, you're not going to stop. So you're being patient and you're waiting for God to answer you, but you're still going to keep praying and keep praying and keep praying and keep praying. And you know that, man, I want it right now, God. I think I need it right now, but I want it right now, God. I'm going to still keep praying. You didn't answer yet, but I'm going to keep praying. I'm going to keep praying. Just keep praying. Just keep praying. Pray without ceasing. Just keep praying. And you got to be patient, because God is not a microwavable God. God is always there. He's always on time. Whether you believe it or not, He's always on time. So you have to just continue to just keep praying, keep going, keep praying, keep believing, keep trusting, keep having faith that He will answer those prayers. And sometimes, you got to get yourself right. You got to get yourself right. When you start praying for certain things, you have to prepare yourself to a certain level. You can't pray for things that you aren't ready for. And it's funny because Dani and I talked about, being prepared last night on Business Blitz. And, you're praying to God for that new job. You're praying to God, I want to travel the world. I want to work over abroad. I want to go study abroad, God. I'm praying, God, just answer my prayers. But if you aren't prepared when God does answer those prayers and you're not ready to receive the blessings, then what are you going to do? We talked about that last night. God, I want that job overseas. Please give me that job. I want it. And God says, all right, boom, there you go. It's yours. But you don't have a passport. You don't have anything ready in advance to go over there. You don't have any kind of things put in place, any kind of safe things to be in that way, so that if you do get that call for that job, that you're ready to just get up and go. You're not acting on the faith of believing in the prayers that you're praying. So you have to get into that habit. Yeah. You got to get into the habit, Dani, of praying for things, but while you are praying, preparing for those things that you are praying for. I heard you, Dani. Where'd you go?
I'm here.
Okay.
Our connection is really bad tonight, it appears, so I'm getting bits and pieces of what you're saying and trying to chime in as needed.
Well, I need you right now. Pray without ceasing. Pray without ceasing. Pray without ceasing. That's what I'm talking about right now. 1 Thessalonians 5:17. Pray without ceasing.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I think that you have to have, a consistent, that needs to be, like you said, consistent in everything that you do. But then it also needs to be, it's a lifestyle. It's not just an act. It's not just something that you do kind of willy-nilly or when you think you need it. It's a lifestyle.
Yep. You have to believe it. You really have to believe. Asking God for, He's not going to give it to you. He's not. And Jesus says in Matthew 21:22, all things whatsoever ye shall ask in prayer, believing you shall receive. All things that you ask in prayer, you will receive. But it's that but. He didn't say but he put that but plainly out there. You must believe. You must believe. You can pray and pray and pray and want God to answer those prayers, but if you do not believe that they will be answered, he will not answer them. Jesus says it himself. He says it in such a way. Jesus was like the greatest storyteller ever. Jesus told the best stories, and he made you think. He hit you with those nuggets and those bombs that you didn't get until you probably didn't get all the things that Jesus said until a week or two later. You're like, oh shoot, Jesus is the man. Like, he got me. I didn't even put it like that, but dang, I got it now. And Jesus hits you with the but you gotta believe. You pray, you ask, and he says you will be received. All things that you pray for, you will receive, but you must believe. So, Dani, I know that you are a praying sister. When you are faced with tough situations, when you are faced with hard times in your life, understanding that you must believe what it is that you're praying for, or else you won't receive it. How do you come to the Lord in prayer? How do you approach God in prayer to really go into that?
I don't have a set approach. I just go at it. It's something that needs to be done. I just go at it. I don't piddle-paddle around. I don't. And there are times where I don't know what to pray. I don't know what to say in my prayers. So I might just be able to call on his name. And that's enough.
Mm-hmm.
Because the word says that the Holy Spirit will intercede for us
mm-hmm.
with moans and groanings and moans
mm-hmm.
that only the Spirit can interpret. So I think that's something that, there's no set way. I don't think that you can have a set way of doing it, because you need to be free flowing.
Mm-hmm.
Just like the Spirit. So I don't think that it's something where you can just say, oh, I have this particular thing that I do, or I always approach him in this way.
Yeah. So. There's definitely not a set way that you are supposed to pray, but we do know that Jesus gave a prayer that he said, when you pray, you should always pray this. But it's not that Jesus just said, say the Lord's Prayer and that's it. No, he said you got to be honest. You got to come from the heart. You got to speak on things, but you should always say that when you pray. And everybody, not everybody. I guess I just really learned the Lord's Prayer about to its fullness about last year, and because of so many different translations, I'll be getting jacked up still. I'll be honest with you. The wording may be a little different, in the sequence of the wording, but we all know for the most part, Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. And when you say that, when you hear that, that's the way that Jesus came to his disciples and told them how to pray. When they asked that question, how do we pray? And Dani, do people ever come to you and ask you how to pray? Has that ever happened?
Yeah, it actually has happened. And I teach people to just be real. And that, I do